What's up, guys? It's Cam Gwynn, and today on Gwynology, we're going to talk about the college football championship game because why not, you know? So, what did we have? We had the Tigers versus the Tigers, Clemson versus LSU, and it was, whew, this is a matchup we wanted. Clemson needed to prove to us that they were real by beating Ohio State. They did. LSU proved that they are dominant by just dismantling Oklahoma and not letting them hardly score at all. So what were we going to expect in this game? We were going to expect a tough fought game. Very physical, very back and forth, and I was thinking maybe last possession wins. But you never know with these games, right? So what really happened? Okay, so let's get into it. Clemson started off hot, super hot. Really showed that they were ready for this for the very beginning. Joe Burrow couldn't figure out what was going on for the first couple drives. The receivers were guarded very heavily by Clemson. Clemson looked really good, and Trevor Lawrence was doing his thing. You know, first opening drive they had, they scored a touchdown. And they looked good, you know. Clemson looked good. Their offense was firing pretty well despite how good LSU's defense is. And Clemson's defense was holding down LSU for a while. And they had a good plan. Clemson was pinning LSU back when they did have to give the ball back to LSU. They were pinning them back in the 5-yard line, within the 10-yard line of their own side. So it's difficult to play out of there when you have to move the ball 90 yards to get a touchdown. What are you going to do? You got Joe Burrow, though. You got a really smart head coach in Ed Orgeron, and the whole coaching staff of LSU is just a bunch of smart guys that understand football and know what they need, and they understand their players and know what their players can do. So what do? They adjusted. They adapted. Adapt or die. You've heard me say that before. LSU adapted, and they figured it out. Joe Burrow even says at the end, it took us a second to figure out what they were throwing at us, but once we figured it out, we figured it out. Joe Burrow was releasing the ball quicker. They ran quicker routes, and running those quicker routes for a while allowed LSU's offense to open up a little more, allowed them to have opportunities for bigger plays because those big plays weren't there at the very beginning until they were able to break through and make Clemson's defense play honestly instead of just only rushing Joe Burrow, which was their main focus at the very beginning, was just getting to Joe Burrow by any means necessary. And it continued to be their focus throughout the rest of the game, but LSU adapted and they ended up coming out and answering real hard. Right before halftime, they were able to take the lead back from Clemson. I believe they were down 17-10 at one point, LSU was, and they just kept rallying. So what ended up happening? Well, as I predicted, and why this is purple, LSU ended up being able to pull out all the stops. Their defense started firing on all cylinders, and Clemson couldn't really do much about it. And their offense was just going crazy. Joe Burrow had a couple great throws to their wide receiver Chase down the sideline that were just straight dimes. Like, there's nothing anyone could have done about that. It was either going to be incomplete or the receiver was going to catch it. There was no chance for an interception. There was no chance for it to be batted down or anything like that. It was... Joe Burrow is a talented dude. Like, holy cow. So, that's how it went about. Final score was 42-25. It was really close for the majority of the game, but once Joe Burrow figured it out, he was firing on. Oh, and fun fact, Joe Burrow was able to beat the all-time passing touchdown record for one season. The record was originally 58 it was set in 06 by the quarterback of Hawaii at the time, Colt Brennan. That's his name. It was set by him in 06, and everyone thought it was an untouchable record, like it wasn't going to be touched for a long time until Joe Burrow came along. Joe Burrow had 55 passing touchdowns going into the final, and what does he do? Throws 5. He beats the record. You know, he ties the record right before half, throws 2 more touchdowns in the second half, and finishes his senior season, finishes his senior season with LSU with 60 touchdowns, and now he's going to go into the NFL draft, probably be number 1 pick overall. That's unreal. 60 touchdowns thrown in a single season is crazy. So yeah, he threw 5 touchdowns, and that doesn't even include the touchdown he ran in. Joe Burrow on his own scored 6 touchdowns in the last game. I mean, not on his own. He had help, but his receivers made some good catches, and he made some spectacular throws to put his receivers in the position to make those catches. So that's all I really got. It was a great game, a lot of fun. Definitely worth the hype. So what do we say about Clemson now? Well, Clemson's still legit. They just played a really good team. What do we say about LSU? Next year is going to be fun. They're going to have a new quarterback because Joe's going to be gone. They might lose a couple of their receivers to the NFL also, but they have a really, really good recruiting class coming in. They still have all their coaching staff as of right now. One of them might leave or something, but we can expect LSU to be up there next year too. So that's all I got for you. This is Cam Gwynn, and if you like this video, hit the like button. Helps me. Super easy for you. You understand the spiel. If you like any of my videos, just subscribe. Just do it, It's worth it. That's all I got to say. Thank you guys for watching. Thursday, we'll be talking about what's going on with the Astros. Cam Gwynn. See ya.